Yet another week, yet another One Piece chapter. Except for the weeks that it's on break, but we're not going to talk about those. And we're on chapter 1042. Winners shouldn't need excuses, rationalizations, whatever it's going to be translated as. This is the first chapter that I have some personal translation preferences, as I think they mean basically the same thing. So the title, in my opinion, is Winners Shouldn't Need Excuses, but whatever. We have another of the Germa 66 cover story, and that is Niji and Yanji being taken to Whole Cake Island because they're in a book, and I believe Charlotte Oven is the one bringing them to Whole Cake, but we get to see a lot of the Charlotte siblings, so that was nice. That's all I can say. And then immediately into the chapter, we get to see something that was set up last week, which is X Drake's attack on the CP0 boss, and he just stabbed him straight through the chest. And the CP0 boss asks why, and Drake has the excuse of, this is me enacting my own justice. So this is yet another angle of justice that we've seen in One Piece. There is no single justice. There are different people's perspectives on what justice is. And given that Drake is a member of SWORD, I guess we can kind of assume that this is a similar justice to what they all practice. We'll see whenever we get more explanation for what SWORD actually is. And then we get to see CP0 boss is done, and he hits Drake in the neck with a finger pistol. I'm going to guess at least taking Drake out of the fight for good now. I'm not thinking that we're ever going to see Drake come back for this arc. But given that he got hit in the throat, we might be seeing a worst case scenario death. I don't think so, but it is an option. And then, as we are nearing the end of the fight, we get to cut to the Flower Capital, where we get to see that they are lighting the sky lanterns, and they are officially setting them up and making their dreams fly. And the reason I say as we're nearing the end of the fight is because this seems like a very obvious setup for what's going to happen. The lanterns are going to reach over Onigashima, probably illuminate what is happening, given that there is a lot of them. And that's going to hopefully either frame the fight or the final hit of Luffy taking Kaido down, or it's going to frame it so that Kaido is lit with all of them, or Luffy's going to be lit with all of them, and then Luffy gets the inspiration that he needs to take Kaido down. I hope that, personally, it's as he delivers the last hit, but we'll see. Personally, I kind of just want to see all of our Onigashima characters, not Onigashima, all of our Wano characters. So I want to see how they kind of, I want to see how their lanterns affect Luffy, because he might be able to see one in specific, be like, that's Tama's, or that's this person. We don't really know that many Wano people on name basis that aren't Onigashima, but it'd still be nice. Then we cut to where the rest of this fight is going to take place, and that is on the roof. And we get to see that Luffy is pelting Kaido with the Gum Hydra, I believe it was called. Yeah, it was Hydra. So it's just punch after punch after punch. Kaido's able to deflect, or I guess negate one hit with his club, but he gets hit multiple times in response. And he has the comment, he's altering the trajectory at a whim. Rubber shouldn't be able to do this. And as we know, Luffy does this by seemingly punching the air, because it's very similar to what he did against Katakuri with Culverin, and he did against Doflamingo, I believe. But the fact that Kaido is saying that Rubber shouldn't be able to do this doesn't seem like something that he would say, in my opinion. It feels like a setup for something bigger, be it that, the legendary devil fruit is Luffy's, and it's not actually a gum fruit, it's something else. That would be weird. We've had the gum fruit since chapter 1, so I don't think that's going to change it. But there's possibilities, I guess. But Kaido's just taken off by the hit, or by the fact that it's actually a thing. And then we get to see one of Kaido's mode changes this chapter, and it is the flirty drunk phase, in which he tells Luffy to Knock it off. I told you it hurts. Stop it, you. And then we get to see Luffy's kind of obvious reaction. He's angry that Kaido is still drunk after so many hits. And then we get, I guess, confirmation that Kaido does have foresight unlocked through his observation haki by saying, I hope you don't think you're the only one who can see the future. I'll take a page out of your book, but the fact that he's saying that Luffy isn't the only one that can see the future, I'm going to take that as Kaido has awakened observation haki to the point of foresight or future sight. I might be wrong, I might be off base with that, but that's what I get from it. And we get to see Kaido's second phase this chapter, and that is what he calls his thieving drunk phase, where he steals the tactic and he starts bouncing his dragon body around. And then we get to see one of the possibly most deadly attacks in all of One Piece, and that is Kaido biting someone. But of course, Luffy being Luffy, all he says is, ow, 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 he ate me. Kaido legitimately swallows Luffy. And then Kaido opens his mouth to spit Luffy out and then blasts him with a blast breath, which doesn't just knock him back to the roof, doesn't just knock him into Onigashima, doesn't knock him anything through that, knocks him through Onigashima, and then Luffy has to switch from Snake Man to Bounce Man to be able to get out of the way. And then he uses the Skywalk technique to get back up to the rooftop. And then we get to see that Luffy doesn't even know how much time he has left. And this is his last Gear 4th, and he has no time to waste. He can't lose here. Everyone in Wano will continue to starve and go thirsty if you stick around, is what Luffy tells Kaido. And he readies an attack, but Kaido says, it's your business who you choose to join forces with, but the people of Wano are used to defeat. They're either weak pacifists or content to die for the sake of honor. They're just losers trying to cover up the stench of their failures. And it just really shows that Luffy is seeing the best in people. Kaido's seeing, realistically, it's the honest truth of what people of Wano are. They are very willing to die for their own honor. But Luffy says that the samurai are strong, and Kaido shouldn't say that. And we get to see the name of the how the name of the chapter comes to be. A brave face makes them strong. Winners shouldn't need rationalizations. Which are you, a winner or a loser? So Kaido's basically saying winners don't need excuses. They don't need to blame honor or anything. If they're strong, they should win. If they're weak, they lose. And then we get to see the second translation thing that I would like to personally change, on my opinion. For the TCB scans, they translated it as Supreme Kong Gun, which seems to be a big boy version of King Kong Gun. But, as a little note, it says can be read as over, so like an over Kong Gun. But the second line is the kanji is the same in use of the Supreme King or Conqueror's Haki. So it's a Kong Gun imbued with Conqueror's Haki, which I personally would feel like should be translated as Conqueror's Kong Gun, because kind of alliteration, and it also just isn't Supreme Kong Gun, which is kind of weird, just personal note. And then Kaido, who was about to blast him with another blast breath, takes it to his throat or his mouth, and that damages him inside. And then Kaido uses a Roaring Thunder Baguya. Luffy actually, I think, gets knocked out, and he loses a little bit of his Gear 4th, but he wakes himself up and says he can't let any of it escape or he'll lose power. Then we can see the third mode change from Kaido, Homicidal Drunk Phase, which is where he is just going complete violent mode. And I believe Luffy switches back to Snake Man on this next page, where he says, one more shot, if this isn't enough, I'll lose. And Luffy readies yet another hit, which I'm going to guess was going to be a Supreme Kong Gun. And Kaido uses a Roaring Thunder Baguya again, but a little guy named CP0 Boss distracts Luffy, and in a moment, Kaido sees the exact thing as he saw when he was fighting Oden back in chapter 970, where he was distracted because of Momonosuke, and he lands a devastating hit on Luffy, which I would assume to be a KO shot if this was anything else besides One Piece and the final fight of an arc. But Luffy has been knocked out 2 times in this one chapter. And that is very, how do I put this? Odd, I guess is the only way I can. Luffy being knocked out is not a surprise. Luffy has been knocked out by Kaido how many times? I think this is the 4th time. 4th or 5th. Kaido is by all means, stronger than Luffy. There's no possible way that Luffy was going to be able to out-tank Kaido without there being some other way of it happening. Also, I was wrong. Luffy is still in Bounce Man when this happens. But I think this is going to come down to a very Katakuri-like situation where they're both very weak, very basically about to pass out. And something is going to happen. Either Luffy gets a second wind or Kaido just kind of gives up. That's how I see this going. With this chapter, Luffy looks like he is out. Like he is down and out, possibly. We don't get to see the white eyes. We don't get to see any more steam coming out of his mouth. But he is coughing up blood. He has been already knocked out once this chapter, so wouldn't be surprised if he did it again. But this could also be a setup for a Gear 5th, which I believe last chapter someone saw the kanji for Gear and then the number 5 on Luffy's cheek. Take that as you will. That might have just been a coincidence. It might actually be a setup. This could be possibly a setup for an awakening. I saw someone on Twitter saying that an awakening should happen before a Gear 5th, which I don't honestly believe. I think Gear 5th should happen before an awakening, because Gear 5th could be used with the awakening once the awakening happens. The awakening could be Gear 5th. If he does have a Gear 5th and he's not already awakened, which I'm going to guess not, because he hasn't gotten a massive boost of power, even though you could make the case that Bounce Man and Gear 4th is an awakening, whatever. So we could be seeing either Luffy get an awakening, Luffy get Gear 5th, or Luffy just win with Gear 4th and being really smart. Or Kaido just giving up. That last one's very unlikely, but I'm still going to put it out there. And I didn't talk a whole lot about him, but CP0 boss is kind of being smart. There was no way that he was going to be able to beat Luffy or Kaido. So Kaido did a smart thing with making Kaido kill Luffy. Because that also comes back to the line, if Kaido and Big Mom are involved, it wouldn't be a surprise if someone died. I don't know if it's supposed to be a callback to that. That's what I got. It's a relatively straight by-the-books chapter. Not a whole lot to talk about. It's mostly just a fight chapter. So that's going to be it, actually. I hope you enjoyed the chapter. Hope you enjoyed this video. If there's probably something major that I missed that I'll feel like an idiot about. But if there's anything that you, the viewers, noticed, let me know by putting it in the comments below. If you liked the video, hit like. If you had anything you want to say about the chapter, comment. If you're new here, subscribe. I make these for basically every video, or chapter, I should say. And until next time, stay safe, have fun, and read more manga. Okay, guys. Bye.